This is MRN Out Loud, brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of MRN Out Loud. Staying out west this week, headed to Phoenix Raceway, and on the program, Ty Gibbs. Last time we saw him, he was driving through the grass on the way to his first Xfinity win in his first Xfinity start. Since then, they've added more than a dozen new races to his schedule. We'll talk about that and his ARCA racing schedule, where he's running for the championship. A little bit later on, William Byron will be back with us to preview the racing at Phoenix. It's all ahead on MRN Out Loud.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Ty Gibbs joins us now. Last time we saw him, he was in Victory Lane at the Daytona Road Course in his first ever Xfinity Series start, and the number 54 Toyotas for Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty, I imagine these last couple of weeks have been a real whirlwind for you. Has your head stopped spinning yet?
It's been a crazy ride for the last couple of weeks, man. It's a lot of stuff going on, and very thankful for the position I'm in to be able to race cars and do what I love. And it's just it's been really cool.
After you got that victory, the team announced that you will add 14 races to your Xfinity schedule, and it's a pretty diverse set. Your grandfather and team owner Joe Gibbs said you and your father Coy were kind of selecting races that you thought could help you the most. So tell me about that process and why you picked the tracks that you did. I see there are 5 road courses on there. You've already got a victory there, so that's one indicator.
Yeah, so there's a lot that went into it. It took us a good amount to figure out what we were going to do, and they got the right races, and they worked hard and kind of figuring out where would be good places for me to run that I'm going to go in the future. And just like Phoenix, it's a great facility, great track, and a lot of road courses. I'm really excited for that too. So I like road course racing, and I can be able to hopefully go and win some more road courses, and then hopefully win some ovals. I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear here in the next couple races, the Xfinity Series, because I've never raced on an oval yet, so we'll see how that goes. But there's been a lot of thought process going into the schedule, and they've got it all dialed in here.
Now, what was the haggling process like? Were there any of them that you said, "Man, I really want to do that one, but you want me to do this one"?
Yeah, there's a couple of those, but we kind of sat down and pinpointed the ones that will be the best for me to run, and I feel like they did a really good job at that and in the thought process here. So it's been a good ride.
I read an article recently where your grandfather, Hall of Famer in both the NFL and NASCAR, said that when you were really little, you wanted to play football. You were really competitive, and you wanted to be like Sean Taylor, who has passed away back in 2007 after a burglary incident there. But you steered your competitive nature towards racing. So I'm curious, when you were that young, who were you admiring? Who were you looking at saying, "Man, I want to be like that guy," besides Sean Taylor?
Yeah. I really didn't have that many people I really looked up to in my life. I just I was around so much of it, and kind of growing up around so much different sports and activities, from motocross to football to baseball to NASCAR. There's so much, and I really didn't really know where I was at that point. So I was just kind of playing it by ear. I like to ride bikes. I raced bikes when I was younger too. So I was around that, but I really didn't have any role models when I was younger. I was kind of just doing what I love, which is the best thing before you kind of start setting your goals and your role models.
Did you get to hang around the football field when you were younger and before you turned almost completely to racing and see some of those guys and hang out?
Yeah. So I grew up in DC, and I got to be able to kind of grow up around the football, or the Washington football team now. And, I really didn't, I was pretty young at that point, so I didn't really remember much, but they said I had a hell of a time there. So I guess that's a good time. I don't remember how.
Well, you're still pretty young at only 18 years old, but you're about to get a ton busier. In addition to the 14 extra Xfinity races, you're running for the championship in ARCA, and you'll be doing double duty at Phoenix Raceway this season. Have you done anything like that before?
I've done a couple double headers in my time, and they're pretty fun. It's just, I feel like, just two different races that you go in there with the same mindset of winning it and doing whatever you can to come out with the best finish. And So it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. Running the Xfinity Series is really big for me, but from the success we've had already, I think we can have a decently good shot to run really good in the next race, and it'll be good for me to have seat time, and at least because we've got practice, and then go out there and stretch and roll out before I roll out, so it's not like going out there cold and firing off with no practice. So it'll be nice to have the ARCA car the day before.
Now, you did have some experience in the ARCA car at Phoenix, led like 100 and some laps, I think, and started on the pole, finished third there early last year, pre-pandemic. And
which race?
Yeah, the first one, my how the world has changed in that short amount of time, right?
I know.
But so it's not like a track you haven't seen at all before. Tell me about how you find the racing at Phoenix, because it's a little different now that they flip-flop the start-finish line.
Yeah. I got to run there when the new track concept was out, so it was nothing really different for me. And it's a great racetrack. I feel like that's a driver's track for sure on the schedule. You've got different lines you can run with the PJ1 laid down on the top and the bottom. Actually, not just on the top. And the track kind of changes a lot. It's really temperature sensitive, so you got to make sure your car's set up for the night. And when the sun goes down, it gets cold out there. So it's a really good place. It's definitely got a spot in my heart, and it's one of my favorite tracks of all time. And I haven't gone to that many racetracks, but it's going to be up there for a long time. And I love that track. The restarts are great. I like the dog leg. I like everything about it. How on the desert too. And I don't really get to go out of the desert, so it's nice to kind of go out there and visit. And it's a good trip. And it's a really great facility.
Well, it surely is, and a lot of changes that make it more fan-friendly. We'll see more fans back there now, but I'm curious, when you're getting ready for a track that you haven't spent that much time at, are you a guy who's, I see the rig behind you, a sim guy, an iRacing guy, or do you just pester all your teammates with questions until they get tired of hearing from you?
Yeah, I'm probably more of running the sim. I like to watch video, just do as much as I can to kind of get my mindset in the track. There's only so much you can do, though, so running the sim too much doesn't really do that much for you, because you're just doing the same thing over and over, and you're not getting any experience. And I would rather I just like to be able to kind of imagine it in my head and then go out there and do it. That's where I really like doing that. So I ask my teammates. I've got great teammates around me, and Joe Gibbs Racing is a great family, so we're always open to answering and asking questions. And I've definitely worn a couple of them out for some questions. So it's been nice to have those guys here to support me and kind of give me feedback whenever I need it.
You're one of just, I think, 5 or 6 different guys sharing the 54 car this year. So do you guys collaborate at all, or is a weekend pretty much a self-contained event and you guys don't cross-communicate that much depending on who's in the car?
Yeah, we really kind of keep it. I really don't know how other drivers do it, but I'm kind of more to myself, and Ty Dillon's helped me out a little bit too, which has been nice, and kind of give me some information on just kind of the Xfinity car and when I raced my first race and not knowing what to expect. So he's been pretty nice to help, and Kyle Busch is really good. He's a really good shoe, and he's helped me out a lot too. So, but more really just kind of keep it. I'm more of a I like to keep it to myself usually. So I'm more of just inside my brain, kind of figuring out what I'm going to do and trying to talk myself through it. So, but yeah, for sure, we definitely do share some information with our driver debriefs and whenever people need it.
A big reveal all across social media of your paint scheme coming up this weekend. You had Monster on the car in Daytona. Who's going to be helping you this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend we've got Pristine Auctions on the race car, and they've got a good looking paint scheme on there for both Xfinity and ARCA car, and I'm excited that hopefully we can. Would be really cool to sweep the weekends and come out with both wins, and it'd be cool for Pristine Auction, and maybe I can get some football cards out of
that. Are you into paint schemes? Like historically, what's your favorite one of all time?
Yeah, I really can't name one favorite paint scheme. I really like a lot, just kind of different on what the day is and what the time of the day is. I really like, there's just so many good ones out there. I really could name one. So, I'm big into look good, feel good. So I like it.
That definitely makes a huge difference. Let's look ahead a little bit. After this, your next Xfinity race will be April 9th at Martinsville. Some of the other races coming up, you mentioned the road courses. Which ones are you looking most forward to in terms of, man, I really have seen a lot of races there, and I'm dying to get to that track?
Yeah, Watkins Glen was I like Watkins Glen a lot, and we went there in 2019. We kind of got robbed out of that one. We had a little bit of an issue on a pit stop, so that would be nice to go back there and run. And I'm thankful to run all of them, and in the position I'm in to be able to do race the Xfinity Series. And, so it's been really cool to know I'm going to be able to race with all these guys and go to all these really cool tracks.
Now, we started a little while ago talking about you growing up and being around football, but I'm curious if you remember the very first time you thought, you know what, I want to be a racer. I want to do that professionally. Do you remember those thoughts?
Yeah. The first time I ever drove a real go-kart, I was at Millbrook Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina, and I was like, this is fun for me, and I like being in the dirt too. So it was really cool, and to know I just want to be a race car driver. I've always wanted to do something in racing and competing and anything in sport. I feel like when you're in a competitive family, it really runs in the blood. And so I've definitely harnessed that, and I want to just compete. I like it.
It definitely is a lot of fun. And as your grandfather said, you got that competitive nature in you to carry you forward for sure. So good luck this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be a busy guy for most of this year, but man, I guess you wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you for letting me come on. And it was a good time. Hope everybody enjoys this.
There you go. That's Ty Gibbs. He'll be in that number 54 car in the Xfinity Series this weekend, and he's also running for the ARCA Championship. All right, coming up next on MRN Out Loud, William Byron will join us to preview the Cup race at Phoenix.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Tell me about the racing at Phoenix now. After the flip-flop of the start-finish line and all that, it seems like the restarts are nuts there.
Yeah, the restarts are crazy. I mean, you really fan out. You got to find different lanes to run getting into turn one, and you can run the apron actually pretty well. So you can kind of get down on the flat and run the apron, which is not really common for us at a lot of places. So I enjoy it, and I really kind of I enjoy the challenge of Phoenix, and it's difficult to pass because a lot of cars are very close on speed. So it's about track position and having a car that you can kind of drive up underneath guys and turn up underneath guys, and usually there's a lot of green flag laps too. So it's a tough short track.
Are the races there so far apart that what you have happen at the first one doesn't apply as much to the second, or is it you get pretty good notes from the first visit?
Yeah, I think you get good notes, but I mean, the biggest thing is you're going to go back there for the championship. So it's a really important race in that aspect. But yeah, like you said, I mean, different players at different times of the year. So you're going to have, some changeover with the guys who make the Final Four are obviously going to have really fast cars. So it kind of is a difference maker. If you get in that Final Four, you're going to have a better result. So you just got to go there and try to learn some characteristics about the track and try to hopefully have a good speed and a good run.
Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco Ultratech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best.
That's all the time we've got on this week's edition of MRN Out Loud. We want to thank Ty Gibbs for being with us. Watch him double duty this weekend at Phoenix Raceway, and William Byron for previewing the Cup race there as well. Until next week, I'm Woody Kane saying join us every Thursday. A new episode drops on MRN Out Loud.